Hello, my name is Leah. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a yoga flow for finding warmth in the winter time when it's probably cold outside. This flow will definitely heat you up. To get started, let's meet an easy seat. Legs are crossed underneath you. Roll your shoulders up and down away from your ears, and maybe let your eyes gently close. Start to focus on your breath as we do for most classes. It's important to get in tune with your breathing before we proceed with the physical poses. Inhaling fully through your nose, exhaling out through your nose. On your next inhale, place your left palm on the mat. Reach your right hand up overhead, stretching over to the left side. Exhale, come back to center. This time, right palm placed on the mat, left arm reaches up overhead, stretching left side body. Inhale, come back to center. Drop your head down and start to do some gentle neck circles. And switch directions. And then come to stillness. Inhale, reach both hands up overhead. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palm to face the sky. And bring your hands out in front of you, stretching your shoulder blades. Release the interlace of your hands and then pull back on your right fingertips with your left hand. And switch sides, pulling back on your left fingertips. And then let go. One full inhale here. On your exhale, transitioning to a tabletop position, hands stacked underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Start to do some rounds of cat and cow. On your inhale, drop your belly, take your gaze up for cow. Exhale, round your spine, gaze towards the back of your mat for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Come to neutral spine. On your next inhale, right arm reaches up overhead. Exhale, thread in between your left hand and your left knee, dropping your right shoulder onto the mat, and walk your left fingertips tall, maybe off of the mat, depending on how long your arms are. Just enjoying this gentle twist. Start to walk your left fingertips back underneath you, pressing back up to tabletop. This time, left hand reaches up. Inhale. Exhale, thread the needle. Other side, dropping your left shoulder to the ground, extending your right arm tall. Start to press back into your right palm, coming back to a tabletop position. Take a moment here, steady your breath, and then lower down onto your forearms and gently start to sit back on your heels, not all the way though, for puppy pose. It's basically like child's pose, except you're up on your knees rather than sitting on your heels. Really stretching into your shoulders and neck. Inhale, start to walk your hands back underneath you. And from here, tuck your toes under, press hard into all 10 fingertips, lift your hips up for downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out your heels. Maybe open your mouth, take a bite of air, releasing your jaw. One more breath like this. Then start to walk your feet up to meet your hands, coming into a forward fold, hinging at the hips. Keep a slight bend in your knees and grab opposite elbows, just letting your upper body hang. Plant your palms on the mat or on your shins and inhale, peel your chest up, halfway lift, elongate your spine. Exhale, tip back forward and fold. On your next inhale, start to roll your spine all the way up to stand, coming into mountain. Last thing to lift is your chin. Plant your feet down, evenly pressing into all four corners. And come to the top of your mat. On your next inhale, arms reach all the way up overhead. Exhale, bring them down to heart center, pressing into your palms. One breath here, and then step back with your right foot, coming into a high lunge. All 10 toes facing the top of your mat. One more breath. Exhale, open your palms, coming into warrior two. Back foot spins 45 degrees. Just here for a breath. Before we exhale, turn back to the top of your mat. Interlace your fingers above your head, releasing your index finger so you have like an arrow on top of you. As you exhale, kick off your right foot, coming into warrior three, balancing on your standing left leg. Keep a bend in that knee and really try and straighten your lifted leg, no matter how high it is, even if it's only an inch off the ground, keep it nice and straight. Hips are parallel to the ground. We're not lifting up on our right hip. Hold here for one more breath. Exhale, lower your hands down to the mat for a quick standing split. Inhale. Exhale, lower your right foot down beside your left and give your knees a little bend. Just massaging out your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back to high plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to the ground, untuck your toes. Inhale for cobra, peel your chest up off the mat. Exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, press all the way up and back into downward facing dog. Maybe notice if this down dog feels a little warmer than the first. On your next inhale, start to walk your feet up to meet your hands, coming to the top of your mat. Slowly rolling your spine all the way up to standing. On your inhale, both arms reach all the way up overhead. Pressing your palms into one another, draw a line down your center body. Hands to meet at heart center. This time, root down on your right foot, step your left foot back to a high lunge. One more breath here. On your next exhale, spin your back foot 45 degrees, arms outstretched for warrior two. On your next exhale, turn all 10 toes to face the front of your mat. Arms reach overhead, interlace your fingers above you, coming into an arrow position. Root down on your right foot, then start to kick off your left foot, coming into warrior three on your right leg, keeping a bend in that standing leg, straightening the lifted leg, lowering your left hip. One more breath here. Exhale, start to lower your hands down to the ground, coming into a standing split. And then on your exhale, slowly lower your left foot down beside your right, bending into each knee in this forward fold. Bend deeply into both knees, lowering your hips. And then elongate your left leg out long behind you and bend your right knee, coming into pigeon, right side. Your shin does not have to be parallel to the top of your mat. The goal is to have it more parallel than not, but the most important part is to be able to sink into this pose, not falling over onto your right hip. Find a place where you can relax, whether it's on your forearms or up on your palms, and just melt into this pose with every exhale. Start to press it back into your palms, lifting your chest. And then extend your right leg long beside your left, lowering your upper body down onto the mat. Inhale, peel your chest up and walk your forearms underneath you, coming into Sphinx, a gentle back bend. Exhale, lower your body, chin coming to the mat. And then press into your palms, this time keeping your right leg long, bending into your left knee, pigeon on the other side. You might notice that one side is able to come more parallel to the top of the mat than the other, which is normal. We're often not the same amount of flexible on both sides of our body. Again, just finding that place where you can either lower onto your forearms or stay high on your hands and just sink into this pose. Start to walk your hands back underneath you, lifting up your chest, and then roll over onto the outside of your left hip. Extend your legs wide, coming into wide-legged forward folds. Just gently hinging at the hips enough so that you feel the sensation. You're not trying to overdo it. Keep your spine relatively straight. Lower your shoulders away from your ears. And slowly inhale, lift your chest and bring both legs together. Scoot your hips to the middle of your mat and gently roll your upper body down. This time bending your knees, reaching in between your knees for the outsides of your feet for happy baby. Just gently pulling on your feet encouraging your knees towards the mat. You can extend them up to the sky or you can keep them low. And gently release the grip of your feet. Hug your knees into your chest. One more full inhale. Exhale, release your legs out long for Shavasana, our final rest. Arms are just gently down by your sides. And just let your body really sink into the mat here. When you're feeling ready, start to deepen your breath. Gently push yourself back up to a seated position. And thank yourself for showing up on your mat today and doing something good for your body and your mind. Thank you so much for joining. I'll see you next time.